Just a quick video taking you through Bitcoin, what I'm seeing of the Bitcoin chart, and what I think it can do from here. I'm going to jump straight across to the weekly time frame and just show you this chart. It's very, very straightforward. It's going to be a pretty quick video, to be fair. We've got this downward momentum pulling back in a lower high and a lower low. We've been rather consolidated for the last few weeks, not really doing a great deal. In downtrends, pullbacks into this moving average zone are likely, and the probability of a continuation to the downside when we've got certain indicators that we have currently set the way they are is that even if we do get a relief rally, we're probably likely to see at least a bit of a rollover. Whether that creates a higher low and pushes us to an uptrend, that's for another day. But right now, a bounce I'm looking to be, if we do get a pullback into here, I am suggesting that we will see further downside. Now, in bear markets, they tend to take a little while to occur. Let's go back to the bear market, with our last bear market. A couple of things to note. The way this bear market played out, I'll show you. Have a look. We saw this first bit of selling from an all-time high of that 69,000 region. Strong selling. Then we got this relief rally, this bounce that from the low back into that cradle zone, which is in and around this moving average zone. That's the cradle zone. We saw a bounce of 40%, which is very significant of a bounce. Then we saw this market fall again. A bearish candle in that cradle zone represents to me the opportunity for further downside. We saw that downside. We saw the higher low. So it printed a higher low. Then it even went on to put itself back into a weekly uptrend with a little higher high here as it took out this level. And that's when we saw the third wave of selling. So selling wave 1 here. There was a selling wave 2 here that created a higher low. Selling wave 3 was a really, really big one. And it got us down to around about the lows. In fact, if FTX hadn't have gone under on this November candle, this would have probably more than likely found the lows as we were, for a number of weeks, a good couple of months there, sideways consolidating before the FTX crash, which did mark the absolute low of that bear market. So what I'm waiting for is this pullback here, and then eventually this next move. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. It doesn't at all. It just because it's happened in the past doesn't mean it will happen again. But we are seeing the market play out, and I wanted to use it as a bit of an example. Now, let me take you down to the daily time frame, because the daily time frame is where I'm really going to be seeing whether or not, in my view, we're going to get that push to 80.84. Why 80.84? Because, well, that's kind of 84 is roughly, it was around the high end of this moving average, the 20 period that I use. But we've got an opportunity right now with Bitcoin. It's got to prove itself, and we are literally at the midpoint. If we see Bitcoin move up from where we are, about 7%, we will have put ourselves into from a higher low to a higher high. So 7% to the upside, we get daily uptrend on Bitcoin. And the flip side of that, if we get a downward move of about 6%, okay, we have a lower high here and a lower low. So we've got Bitcoin sitting more towards the bottom end of that range at the moment, but at a point, I wouldn't even call it a critical juncture, to be honest. The reality is that we might consolidate for quite some time, okay? But if we break down through this level, we go into a daily downtrend, at which point I will be definitely looking for more shorts. There have been a few long trades available lately. In fact, strangely, I think the profits from the community have been, the last week or so, mostly uptrends, which is bizarre. Actually, two downtrends yesterday didn't go on to be profitable. So there you go. But just looking at the bigger picture here, look, I do believe that we will see another leg down of Bitcoin. In bear markets, what typically occurs is we get these long periods of consolidation met with strong selling over a relatively short period of time. This is looking very similar to what we've seen over here. This is my third bear market. This is my third year or third cycle. It is fairly common to see these consolidations fake into new trends and sell off, both on the weekly and the daily. So again, just to recap, above 74,000 will be a daily uptrend. Does that mean we're going higher? If we do, I wouldn't expect it to go too much further than sort of 82, yeah? And if we break down through this low here of 65, call it 65,500, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see us start to meander down towards some new, to test the new lows that we set back on this candle in the early stages of February. Guys, I got a few things that I'm giving out for free at the moment. If you want to get on my free newsletter, all you got to do is drop your email in. The link is in my bio, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.